This is the agenda for today. So we're going to start with some quick reminders. There are some news. There are new features that we're announcing, and we have a little surprise at the end of today's sessions. I would even say a big surprise. So just be patient. But before that, we start with the reminders. Today is a release webinar. We're presenting changes and news from Helpful Village. Next week, we have a Q&A webinar where you can actually ask your questions, and we will be here to answer all your questions. But today is we make announcements, and there's another release webinar in April, on the 15th of April. So these are a couple of useful links that Anastasia is going to share on the chat with you: the training docs guide, the help center, and Slack. So if you're not, you don't know about those resources, we invite you to visit those links and then just explore them, because those are very useful resources. We're doing a Q&A webinar next week. So basically, if you have any questions or need training or anything, you can send your emails in advance to this email address. That's hvusers@helpfulvillage.com. That would send an email to Anastasia, and then she puts all these questions in a document, and then we put them in order, and then we answer questions one at a time in a webinar similar to today's, but a week from now. This is a quick reminder of how the Help Center works. If you need to put a support ticket or support request, we invite you to do that on support.helpfulvillage.com. Basically, there's a link at the top that says submit a request, and there you can enter the information about your request. There are requests about two different types. This is basically the Help Center. That's support.helpfulvillage.com. That's where you put you report if you have any problem or bug or something. You would do that there. If it's an improvement idea, you would submit that under ask.helpfulvillage.com. That's a different site. So we take care of bugs before we do improvements, and we try to classify them in these two different websites. When you're submitting a support ticket, we invite you to follow these guidelines. If you can use a clear and descriptive title. Sometimes people report like, oh, something not working. Well, that doesn't help us triage the tickets. So if you can describe what's happening on the title of the ticket, that helps. If you can provide specific information about the date, the user, the email, a print screen, or something that helps us find the solution quicker, we would be highly appreciative of that. Our customers are paying their invoices a lot automatically. We have set an auto payment process by which you don't need to go to the post office to send a check, but basically just give an authorization to Helpful Village to charge for the monthly releases. And if we do that, we're saving a lot of time. So basically, we can spend more time on tickets if we don't need to spend time sending reminders about past payments or outstanding invoices. Okay, so that was for the reminders. Now we move on to news, and we are very happy to welcome a new village to our family. And then this is a village that is over 15 years old, this Tierra Santa Village Movement, which is a neighborhood of San Diego, California. So they are very close to us. We could visit them in person and visit their office. They are a village that have been in existence for more than 15 years. So they have been around for a while, and just they recently decided to go from Club Express to Helpful Village. So we wanted to welcome them to our webinars and to our group of villages. So we also had a few meetings with a village, I think it was Maryland or something, and we're not aware of some of our resources. So we really insist, if there is something, if you start getting some frustration about not knowing something or not getting the information, well, there are available resources that are free, that we spend a lot of time working on for you. One is a training guide and the help center. So make sure you know those resources. And with this, now we move on to release notes and changes that are coming to the server this week. These changes are not on your server yet. These are modifications we are announcing for this month. The actual deployment to your server will happen between tomorrow and the weekend. Okay, first change that we're adding. This is in Village Talk. Village Talk is a module that not all villages are using, but if you're using it, you're interested in this. If you're not using it, you can activate it because it's included in your package. So it's a service you can activate or deactivate. But basically, Village Talk allows you to have online conversations and online discussion groups, interest groups. And then basically now we added a new feature by which when you have a discussion group, you can pin a message. So you can see this pin is something that exists in other platforms too. You can go to a post in Village Talk, and then if you click on the three little dots here on the right, now you can pin or unpin. what pinning does is described up here, but basically it puts that message. If you have a conversation that is really important, maybe because you have a big event at your village, you want to make sure that that doesn't get buried and goes to the bottom of Village Talk. That puts it at the top of your Village Talk conversation. So you don't want to pin all messages, but if you have an ongoing conversation that is really important, you can go to the post, you can pin it, and then it will show as pin, and it will stay at the top of the conversation. We also added more functionality to the editor of the Village Talk also for the posts. So when you're creating a post, you can users actually posting information to Village Talk. They can put content in bold, in italic, but also now they can add colors, background colors and colors, and then in addition to links and pictures. So basically, we added more functionality. If you do that, now you have the possibility to create a post like Anastasia did here in the book club discussion group, where basically she's choosing to put more color into her post, and she just put this in blue and red, etc. So now it's now possible. Before, we would only allow black text in there, which was a little bit more homogeneous, but it was also a little bit more boring. Some villages are using Village Talk for internal coordination of services, and it was important to have colors to highlight some important information. So from now on, it is possible to use colors in Village Talk. Okay, this is a change we did not in Village Talk. So this is for service requests. This is probably our most popular module. It allows your members to request volunteer assistance, and you create a service request. Now the change here, you can create a service request the same way you were doing it before, but what we are adding is here, where you see service request, it says 4931-302. This is the ID of the request. So we did this because now we wanted to make sure that you can identify a service request. Sometimes we were asking customers what service request it was, and they were telling us, well, this service request on the 4th of April, and then maybe there were 2 or 3. But if we have a single ID for the service request, just it's easier to say what service request it is. So basically now this number that you find here, admins find it here, is actually the unique identifier of that service request. And then there's another thing, is that now that the service request exists, allows you to search that specific service request on the search box. I will demonstrate this in the demo that I do after at the end of the slides. But basically, if you type in the search, it's the same search person field that you had before. But now if you type srec for service request, and then you put a colon, and then you put the ID of the service request, it will take you directly to that service request. You don't need to go through the list and then do other things. Just a lot easier to search unique requests using the ID of the service request. Okay, this is a different change in a different area. So we have added a new email template. Email templates are basically customizable messages that you use for sending emails to your members. So we have one, for example, for automatic renewal invitations for your members when they're expiring. Others for thank you for your donation when there is a new email template that we added. And that is, I see that there is a question, so I'm going to pause, but let me finish with this slide. Is that you have an email template that is added that you can customize, that allows you, when you're sending email with service requests to your volunteers, you can do it in 2 ways. You can wait for the automatic distribution of opportunities to volunteer. That's our recommended way. But when you have urgent service requests, you can also do a multiple selection and send the service request out without waiting. That's what you do when you have urgent service requests. And now if you have urgent service requests that need to go out, now you have an email template that allows you to customize that message before it goes out. I'll come back to this feature because there's more slides, but I want to make sure that I answer the question first. So I think Kathy raised her hand. So Kathy, do you want to unmute and let me know what your question was?
Yeah, thank you. Just on the previous one, do you have to say SREC? What if you just put in 4931-302? It won't come up?
Well, it's an excellent question. The thing is that search box is searching different things. By default, it's going to search a person, right? But then there are different prefixes for different things. For example, if you're looking for an organization, you can put org, helpful village, and that's going to search the helpful village organization. If you do pro, that's going to give you a provider containing that name. I can show this in the demo later. So we needed to have a different prefix depending on what you're searching, right? Obviously, this is kind of an advanced feature for admins. So, it's just 3 I think we have so far three prefixes. You can do SREC for service requests, you can do pro for providers, and you can do org for organizations. And if you don't put anything, it's going to search a person. And also, by the way, while we're here, if you search if you put an email address there, it's going to go directly to that person too. So it's kind of a smart search. So we need to know what the search is about a little bit. So it's an excellent question. I'll demonstrate this later in the demo. Okay, I go back to this email template. Okay, so we have several slides here because it's step by step how you can do that. So the first thing is you can create the email template. And in order to do that, you go to admin settings, admin settings, email tab, email templates, right? That's where you find all your email templates. That's not new. And there you would see a list, and you can create a new email template. And the new email template that you can create, right, will allow you to do this customization. Actually, it is here. So you can call it, you need to give it a title, it's highlighted services. It is an email template of the email template category called service request. And there is a new auto task that is called multiple service requests to email messenger. So that's when you select multiple. I'll demonstrate this later, but just giving you the information. If you choose, this is basically the template that will automatically apply when you do this automatic action of doing multiple service requests to an email messenger. I'll demonstrate this easier, but basically here is where you set the customized message you want to set up, right? Here in the email template, you hook it up with an auto task, right? Which is the action of multiple service requests to email messenger. And if you do that, when you do you go to the list of service requests, and then you checkbox here and select some of them, and then you go to create multiple service requests, your email template will be integrated up here. If I'm going a little quickly, don't worry, because I'm going to do a demo of this before the end of today's session, right? But basically, it's like this possibility to send the email requests out. Now you can customize the message up here. Okay, I'm wondering if I show you right now, I have two options. One is like I can go to demo, or I can keep going with the slides, but I feel that maybe it's easier if I show you the demo right now of what I just explained. So let's go here. We do admin, right? Admin, settings, email, tab, email template button. When you go here, this is very important. All villages should know this page well, because this is where you customize your messages. For example, for the thank you for your donation auto task, it's going to have a customized message here that is thank you for your donation. See here? So, now, there is a new email template that I was saying before. There is confirmation for membership renewal, renew notice 1, 2, 3. And then there is one here, which is this one, multiple service requests to email messenger. You see, this one is of the category service request, is connected to this auto task, and it's called highlighted service. Oh, yeah, it's a typo here, so I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go edit. It's highlighted services, and then here I can customize the message. These are urgent service requests. So please make sure you volunteer for these ASAP. It's not a good text, but it's always hard to improvise when we have 25 people watching. But I just want to see that this is my text that I can customize, right? There is nothing else here at the bottom. I just can save it. So now we got a new email template like this, right? That is associated with this task of multiple service requests to email messenger. Perfect. Okay, now the email template is ready. Now, by the way, let me show you another thing, because if you go admin settings, email templates. In demo, I can see it already, right? Because I already created. But for you, when it's going to be deployed to the server, you will need to create a new email template, which you do from the bottom, right? And then you do the same. You call it whatever, highlighted services. You associate it with the email template category that's going to be service request. And service request category has an auto task that is multiple service requests to email messenger. And then here's where you customize your message, right? And here you say hi, and then you use the variables as usual. So your F name, and then you type something else, etc., and then you save it. Okay, but I'm not gonna create a duplicate because I already have it from before. But if when you deploy to the server, you will need to create a new one because you don't have it on yours. Anyways, now let's go to the next. Now,
Manuel,
if I go to my list,
Manuel, excuse me. There is a question
mhm,
from Kevin in the chat.
yes, yes.
Kevin, would you like to ask your question?
Mhm,
Certainly. On the list of the email templates,
mhm,
can it be filtered or re-indexed on
uh-huh.
the fly
Yeah,
for top to bottom,
yeah,
newest at the top type thing?
yeah. I like your question, and the
Okay.
answer is no. I don't think we have it, so it's not sortable. Today is doing something like
Okay.
alphabetically, some sort, or even chronologically.
Okay.
We can sort it. This is another thing that annoys me, just so you know, is that here some villages have some of their auto tasks connected, right? But now we're adding a new auto task, but you don't know that there is an opportunity to create a template for it. See what I'm saying? So probably for next month, we should do a modification so that we can sort this, and also so that we can tell you what auto tasks have not been associated with a template, right? You see what I'm saying, Kevin? Oh, okay. You responded on a thumbs up. Okay, so perfect. So I agree with you. We can improve a little bit the functionality on this page to sort it easier, and also I want to make some comments here about what auto tasks you could also associate, and then you choose if you want to do it or not. And then if you, Christy has another question.
Yes, forgive my ignorance. We haven't had a whole lot of service requests yet. How
Mhm.
is this different than the auto-generated, the current messages
Perfect.
that our volunteers are
Yes,
getting?
perfect. That's where I was gonna go. So let me go from here. I'm here. First thing is what Christy's referring to is here. You go to settings, um, services, and then here what we recommend Village is that you check these boxes, send automatic daily emails to volunteers, right? When you do that, the server wakes up. You can customize the time, but usually it's around 10 a.m. by default. And then basically at 10 a.m., the server wakes up. It looks for every active volunteer you have. It's gonna check some. It's gonna find some volunteer opportunities if there's something for them to do, and then it's gonna send a customized email that is smart based on his skills and everything. And that happens automatically. You don't need to do anything. That's the normal course of action. Is the daily automatic emails with tailored specific activity. Now, this other thing that we are talking about today is a little bit different. It's for urgent service requests when you cannot wait until next day, right? Because maybe this lady needs to go to the doctor tomorrow at 8, but you still want to try to make sure you help her. You can do the following. You can do basically a manual overrun. So you can send another additional email to send it manually to your volunteers. The way to do it is like this. You go to your list of service requests. You click here, multiple selection. And you see here, there's no checkboxes. You see, so you basically can open one service request at a time, right? And you can do actions on one of them. But then if you want to do something on multiple service requests at once, you click here on multiple selection. When I do that, it's going to add checkboxes here to the left. Are you ready for this Star Wars kind of animation? 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Now we have checkboxes here. Now that I have checkboxes, right, I can select some of these. For example, this one, I take 1, 2, 3, and also this one. Okay, I took 4, whatever the 4 urgent ones that I have, and I can choose any that I want, but essentially it's intended for these 4 ones. And now when we added multiple selection, there's some additional buttons that are added. One of them is I can delete them. If I made some mistake, I need to delete multiple ones. But basically what I want to show here is the selected service requests are sent to the email messenger. Right, so I have 4 multiple selection. I select the checkboxes of those that I want, and now if I click selected to email messenger, this existed before. What is new is the email template, but now if I click on it, it's gonna create an email, right, in the email messenger for those volunteers that are in the activities of the service request. So here automatically it takes the mailing list of volunteer services, and it takes my drivers by default. I can change this, but this is good. They are right, so I want to send this to my drivers. And then it's going to use the highlighted service request template, and it's going to put the text that we created together in the email template. It says, hi, first name, these are urgent service requests, so please make sure you volunteer for them for this as ASAP. And then at the bottom of this, let me scroll a little bit. Here we put the 4 service requests that we select. So basically, our recommendation is that you use the automatic, email for service requests, because it's going to be prettier, it's going to be smarter, it's going to go at a scheduled time, and your your volunteers know when that email is going to get there and they don't get overwhelmed with 25 emails. But if you have something urgent, you can do it, right? And you can come here and send through MailChimp this urgent service request to your group. Okay? Christy, did that answer your question about these two different flows? Basically, the regular one is the preferred method, but this is kind of a more manual, urgent kind of selection thing.
It does. My next question was just, can we group different types? Like if they're not all rides, if someone's looking for tech and someone's looking for handy person, could.
Yes. I'm going to show that. So let me do it. It's not as good. I'm going to show you what it does. I take multiple selection. If I take OneDrive and then one friendly visit, and then I do selected to email messenger, it's going to take my 2 service requests. It's going to take my email template here, right? So it always takes this thing here and then go here. But the problem is that now we cannot send it to only one group. So it's going to send to the more generic group where they're in. So it's going to send to all the active volunteers. But it's kind of annoying because my handymen are going to receive this. You see what I'm saying? So I prefer, even if you send multiple emails, right, manually, but only to the specific group of volunteer activities that you have. You need to be careful not to send 25 emails to different people, and also about sending information that is not relevant to your handyman if you're sending them rights and stuff like that. So that's why, the automatic email is smarter because it's only going to send, kind of relevant information to the appropriate person. If you do this, it's faster. You can do it anytime, and you can do it manually, but it's going to be a little bit more messy. But it can be useful. If you have something urgent, you should definitely do it like this. While I'm here, I'm going to show you some of the other things that I showed before. So I go to the list of service requests.
Question.
Yes, Lee.
This looks great. Is it documented in the support documentation yet?
I don't know, actually. So first, I like it because we can just show how to use the help center. You go here. Okay, let me try do that again. Support here. If you do support.helpfulvillage.com, that takes you here. And then here, I do multiple selection. You can search that box and then video multiple selections and manual service request opportunities with email messenger. So yeah, there is a video here. And then how to send service requests via email messenger. There is also a training doc like this. Boom.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can share that.
No, actually, I like it, Lee, because we were trying to encourage people to find the information in the help center. So it allowed me to do a demo of the help center organically. So that's really good.
Yeah. No, it's good. Thank you.
Perfect. I'm going to go back to the demo here, right? Because there is another feature that we said before. It's like about service requests. Admins, when you go to your list of service requests, and this is something very common, you're all used to do this. If you take any service request, I'm going to go to page 4. I'm going to take this one. Basically, now admins will always see an ID here. So it's 4931302. Okay. If I take any other random service request, each one of them will have a different number. You see, this is 12130-383, right? So basically what you can do now is that, well, first you can call a friend or another call manager or something, and you can tell them that. You say, well, it's service request this and this. Or you can copy this and send it to somebody, right? And then you can go here, and then if you're anywhere else in the website, I'm going to get out of here. Just going to perform the search. Okay. I'm anywhere, right? And then now if I go here, I know it's a search person because by default it's search a person, right? But if I go here and I type service request, SREC, column, and then I paste the ID of the service request, it's going to immediately open the service request. You can always find it through the list, right? But it's kind of a shortcut to find the service request. And the other thing that I was saying about the search, right? Here is what I use all the time. If I want to search Manuel, I'm going to search Anastasia actually because there is too many Manuels in my database. I search Anastasia by name while it finds the Anastasia in the database. And then the other prefixes that I was saying before, you want to find an organization that is called Helpful Village or Helpful. He found the organization Helpful Village, you see here. And that's, you can also find the organization through services management, organization management, and then find them there. But these shortcuts allow you to find this thing quicker. And then you can do the same thing with Pro and then Helpful, because I think we are also a provider. And now this is the provider page that has the reviews of other members. So the the prefix, and then if I have an email address here, let me do that too. If you search by email address, it's also immediately also gonna come open the person. Anyway, so this box is a smart box. It's just remember to have these prefixes, and the new prefix is srec. I don't remember. Okay. Oh, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. Like, I want to show you half of the stuff I showed you before. So if you go back to Village Talk, not back because I wasn't here. So you remember here the message that we showed in the slides. This one is pinned, right? It was created 21 hours ago, and because it's pinned, it's at the top of the conversation. Even though this one is fresher, right? We put the newer messages at the top. But at the very, very top, we put the pin messages. So now you can come here, right? And then in the admins can come, they can unpin a message. If we think that, well, this was super important before and we want to have it at the top, it needs to be pinned. If I unpin it, now we have the order chronologically. So this is the most recent message. This is another message. So it's here, the one with the colors. And we go here. I want to go kayaking, and for some reason in our village, kayaking became the most important conversation. I can come here, I can pin this message, and then if it is pinned, right, then it's going to be at the very top of Village Talk, right? So while it's pinned, and you see it here, it's pinned, it's going to be at the top of Village Talk because this is a conversation we want to keep people informed about. And then those that are not pinned will come down chronologically. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to go back to the slides. We're talking about these email templates. We're talking about the multiple selection of service requests. And then we're going to do something new, is that we have a photo library. Okay, photo library. So when you're creating your web page, your website, you were able to add text and pictures and stuff like that. And every time we were inviting you to use this button here at the bottom under the B, and that what allows you to upload a picture to your website. But sometimes we were receiving requests from villages that they were, they need the same picture in 3 or 4 different pages, and you had to upload it 3 or 4 times. That was a little annoying. So what we do now is that we have a photo library, so you can upload a picture once, and it goes to a database of pictures, right, for your website, and then you can reuse it in different pages. So I'm going to do a demo of this too. But basically, before I show you the demo, I'm going to show you basically the slides explaining this. So what you would do, if you open an editable page, right, you click on image because you want to add an image, right? And then the next thing that happens is that it will open this dialog box here that allows you to upload a picture. This similar box we had before. But what is new now is this little box in here at the top right. And what it does is that this allows you to check if you have take a picture from your pictures library or your photo library instead of uploading a new one. If you need to upload a new one, you upload. If you can reuse one that you already had, you click here, and this is basically the reuse. I'm going to show a demo also. Okay, I'm going to explain this feature too. This is also a new feature. We have a photo library and we have a photo gallery. Those are 2 different things. So photo library is the reusing of pictures for your editable pages. And the photo gallery is more kind of an album with different pictures from different events. So you go to an event and then there was a party and we took 30 pictures, or we went to theater or an outing or a walking group or anything, and you want to create an album with pictures of the event, you can do that and then basically link it, add it to your website, and people can look at those pictures both on the desktop computer and on their phones. So I'm going to show these 2 features. I'm going to go do again. I don't like kind of switching from demo to not demo, but I'm going to do it. So let me get out of the slides. I'm going to go to demo again. And I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to choose, I'm going to show the pictures library. So I'm going to go into a picture, into an editable page, any editable page like this one. And then I can go here. At the bottom, there is edit this page. And here we can do, we just look where we want to add our picture. And then, for example, I want to add my picture here. So I click on the page. After I click on the page, I would go here and choose a picture.
I can't see your screen. I can just see you.
Okay. How about everyone else?
We can see your screen.
I
You can
must
see
be
the
doing
screen.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Let me see if there is a way, because I escaped. Lee, do you see it now? My screen?
I
I
must
can
have
stop
done
and
some-
reshare it. Let me do it. Let me do it because I can. It says it's shared, but because I escaped, maybe Zoom got distracted. So
There,
Lee,
got it. Thank
is
you.
it showing now?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. It's probably a Zoom problem with the refresh because I exited my slides and I think it got lost. Anyways, I went to a regular editable page, right? And then you click on the editable page where you want to add your picture. And then basically the next thing is that you can add picture here. And what we used to do before is like we would used to go here, upload, right? Browse for an image. And then you can find an image on your computer and you upload it. So that remains the same. That has not changed, right? Now, what has changed is that you can now also click here. You can click on the same pictures, insert picture. And then if you don't want to upload it, you can go down here. And this is basically the button that allows to reuse a picture that you have in your library. So I can click here, this is browse files. And this is going to find all the pictures that we have uploaded to Helpful Village before. I can, just select. And it adds the picture. I'm not uploading a new picture. It's the same picture from the database that can be reused in multiple pages. And obviously I can save. And now we have the picture either uploaded or reused. So now these pictures that are reusable are in a pictures library, and then you can also add them to your pages with the button I showed. Also, we add them here. If you go to admin settings in the menu manager and pages, we added new buttons here. One of them is the pictures, right? So we used to have this before: menu manager, editable pages, web templates. And now you also have a new picture, which is the pictures library. If you click on it, you have basically all the pictures that you have already uploaded. And these are the same pictures that you can reuse in your pages. So it's the same thing we saw in the pop-up, right? Where you can find them are stored here. So if you have a duplicate, like is the case here, you can come here and delete them and clean your library of pictures. And all of these are the reusable. You see, because sometimes we're uploading the same picture, we have duplicates in the database. We can reuse them. Well, then basically we're wasting less resource. Okay, the other button that there is here is the photo gallery. So if you click on photo galleries here, this is also a new button. And this opens this page where you have different different events, right? Like this one. I'm gonna go back to another one. We went to a conference here in Sacramento, and when we went to the Sacramento conference, we can edit this album. You can add more pictures here, right? All the pictures you want to add, you just add picture and then put them there. And then and then you choose here the title of the event and who can see those albums. Some albums can be public, some of them can be only for members, some of them only for active members and volunteers. So you choose who can see these, if you want to have public pictures or if they are private pictures. And then basically, after you do that, basically with this new link, same, just you can use the link to the album, and then you click on the page, and then you can, go to one page to the other. Here, right? So
Can we embed that on a page? That link
the
on a page?
gallery is an excellent question. I need to check that. No, I wouldn't know how to do it now live in 3 seconds, but I definitely have these images associated. And I know we do a slideshow sometimes. That's a great thing. They should be. It should be easy to add them to a page. So if I probably we should keep that for next month because it should not be too complicated. I know these pictures are already associated in an album. I already have an element that does this because I know capital city. We have a graphic element here that allows to, do a slideshow like this. So I can definitely add next month the possibility to do a slideshow of the pictures of a gallery or something like that. So yeah, so I like the idea. It's not connected yet.
Want me to submit something, or you got it?
Yeah, it's always good to submit it so that we have
Okay.
it in there, but I like the idea. Okay, and then we have, let me see because I saw Laura, I think, raise her hand, but maybe lowered her hand. I don't know, but I see Christy raise her hand. So maybe Christy, yeah, you can go.
I was just curious, does the user have to click through to see, or is it a carousel that automatically goes to the
Here,
gallery?
if you go to albums, you click and see them. So you can take as much time as you want. This other thing is like, I showed a combination of two things. This is the photo gallery, and this is by hand. You use the arrows and you go back and forth. You go to all the photo galleries, and then I don't know what this is here. You have these arrows that go from one to the next, etc. But then what Lee was asking is that, can we add these pictures inside a given editable page? And the editable page has the carousel, but now I have not connected the carousel with the gallery. So this is what I was saying. Maybe next month we can bring kind of a combination of both.
Okay, great, thanks.
And Laura's hand came back up.
Yeah, I thought I would just clarify because I think it was answered, but yeah. So the question I was going to have is like, how is that visible to members or volunteers?
Yeah,
the galleries?
Yeah. So basically it's like this. This URL is the album, right? It's like you can add it, you can send it to your members or whatever, and then basically this up opening this page where it's visible to members. I know Avenida does it. I don't know exactly how they do it, but just basically this is a normal page that contains the photo gallery that is accessible depending on who you're sharing this photo gallery with, right? If it's public or private, etc. But it's basically the way to get there is with this link.
Yeah, I think it would be neat, like if you, from the events page, if it could be connected to the events page, even if it was the month before, people could go back to that event and then just scroll through from that event. But
yeah, you see what we do here is interesting also. So because what you can do is like in demo, I remember now in the menu, right? We have event list, events gallery, and I had here photo galleries, and you can do this already yourself. You can go here. I can show you how we did it. But basically, you can add it from the menu. If you click on this, you have the collection of all the photo galleries of all the previous events, and people can open the event and then just open and see them. And the way I added it here is very easy. You go here, admin, settings. This is a great question because it needs to be kind of connected and visible to people. If you go here to menu manager, and then you go to the private menu, right? This is what we see when we're logged in. You can also put it in the public menu, it doesn't matter. But you go here under events, you see, I added a menu item here that I called photo galleries. And the photo galleries, what I'm doing is that I'm linking to URL, and the URL that you need to link to is called /albums. So this is basically the collection of albums or photo galleries that we have. So you can add a link to your menu manager with this, linking to URL and this will give you just all of them. Okay, cool. Okay, now back to my slides. I need to keep moving because you'll have more time. More things that we added. Okay, so I showed this already. So it's the pictures button and the photo galleries button. Okay, this is another picture, another improvement that is neat because it's small, but it was annoying. So basically, is that when you go to an event and you are editing an event, right? And you're adding the name, the participants, who can attend, who cannot attend. You can upload a picture to that event, right? And when you upload that picture, well, it's good. But then sometimes you wanted to replace the picture, and you can do that, and then you click and delete the picture. But when you were deleting the picture, we were redirecting you, and we were losing all the modifications, stuff like that. So now we did the right thing, so that you can delete the picture and it doesn't change the page. It just remove the picture. I can also show a demo of it. But it's just, this is kind of a practicality because people, sometimes we were wasting or we were losing some information just because we were recharging the page and we shouldn't for the upload picture. So I showed this in a demo. I think I have 2-3 more things, and then I show that in a demo. So I have this one, I'll go back to event, delete the event picture. We did another change also that is pretty subtle. Is when we are creating a service request, right? When you have a volunteer that is matching with a service request, we send them an email, and the email includes a calendar invite, right? So that they can add that event to their calendars. And that was happening already before. It looks like this on Gmail, right? It's like, oh, you have a service for this member at this date on the February 20th or something. But we were not including the time zone information, so the Pacific time, into the calendar. So if you were a volunteer, so we were using the local time zone of your browser. So if you are in Boston and you're volunteering in Boston, it was showing in the appropriate place in your calendar. But if you're in Boston, you're traveling from California, you accept the service request in California, and then it would add it to your calendar in the wrong way. Basically at 10 a.m. in Boston, but then you're doing it from California, so it's 10 a.m. in California, but it's not, because the member is going to be expecting you at 1. So now we're just adding the time zone information. So if you are, this problem was not happening to you if your volunteers were local, right? But then when your volunteers were traveling to a different time zone, we were not adding this correctly to their calendar. We fixed that. If you have never seen this problem, you don't need to worry about this. You have this problem, we just fixed it. These are also another bug fix. When people that are using the check-ins module, which is a module that we like and we want to improve, we will be working on this next month too. There is a possibility to search for previous check-ins, but the start date and end date filter for finding phone check-ins that were done to your members given by date was not working. So we just fixed it. The dates are now working again. Okay, and now I'm going to go to demo because I wanted to show you two things. So basically here, if we go to an event, and then for that event, it's an event like this. Give me a second because there is something funny on this that I was working on, I think. Okay, there you go. Oh, it's acting funny, man. I don't know what happened with this event. Okay, this event. Poker conversation, poker event. And then if you go to edit this event, you have all the information about the event. You can change some things, etc. And then when you were clicking on here, remove picture, it would lose all the modifications and changes you were doing. It would forget all the other changes you make here to the address. It will remove the picture. It will do the job, but it will not save the previous information you had here. Let me find another. Let me see. Wait. Let me do it for real. So demo, events list. If I take this. Oh, there you go. I don't know what other event was weird. Okay, here we have this event with a microphone. I can edit this event. Now imagine that now I come here and I'm a slammers and I'm gonna edit this. And I'm gonna say that the price is $20. Oops. $20. It doesn't allow me to try playing with me. And then here, what we would do is that if you do remove the picture, it would not save the changes I did to this page. It would just delete the picture and reload. But now if we do that, I just click on this, ask me if I'm sure I want to remove the picture, and I say yes. You see, it didn't reload the page, just remove the picture, and then all the changes that I was doing here, they're all kept. So that's something we were missing before. And we did that for the remove picture, and we did that also for the remove organizer. So the organizer for the event, if you're someone that is coordinating that particular event, now you can add and remove, and it doesn't reload the whole page, just takes care of that little portion of the page where the organizer was being added. Okay, and then I forgot, what was the other thing that I was, oh yeah, but this one I'm not gonna show, not necessary, and I think I already showed the demo of all the features here. Do we have any questions about any of the new features? I can redo it again because there was a lot of content and improvements today on different modules. So if someone has any questions, I'm happy to go and demonstrate any of the things I showed today.
Is check-ins an additional module that people pay for?
Yes.
It's not a standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, check-ins is a premium module. And show you here on demo how it looks like. If you go here, you have service requests, service evaluation, check-ins. The way this works is that you have village buddies. You pair people. You do a phone tree with basically volunteers that are following up on some members. And then what you would do is, for example, the volunteer Bob Herger is going to be calling Daniel Upshire with a given frequency. These 3 volunteers are all calling the same member. Each one of them is making phone calls at this date and that date. And when they run a new check-in, they say, well, for this member that I'm calling them today, March 18th, it's 11:47 here in California. There are some instructions. I can say, I ask the person how they're feeling. They're feeling excellent. Are there any changes in healthcare, in their health? Do you need any service from the village? Maybe they need something. Member is doing great. but she needs a ride. Please call her. Please call her. I don't know, anything like that. And then we talk about health for 10 minutes. And then you can just save it, 6 minutes actually. And then that's it, a check-in. And then basically there is a check-in dashboard where basically admins can check how people are doing. And then you can also search the check-ins so that you can see all these conversations. You see, for example, here, I'm an admin. I can see that I have recently started taking all these conversations, all these other check-ins and phones that have been done. Okay, anyways. Yeah, we'll be working on this check-ins module because there's some improvements we're working on with a Great Village in North Carolina. And then we'll tell you more in a dedicated session next month, I think, with more changes. But before we get to the end of the hour, and if there are no more questions, we have a big surprise for you, and maybe you forgot about the surprise, but I didn't. So I wanna let you know that we're very happy to show you something we have been working on. So before I do the big reveal, I'm gonna let you know that this is not going out this weekend. So you can appreciate it, but don't expect it for now because it needs more time. We're doing something big, but it takes us time for an obvious reason you will understand. So this is not coming out this weekend, but it's something that we are spending a lot of time working on, and it's very exciting, but it will be coming out maybe in 1 month, in 2 months, because it needs more work. Okay, you're all seeing this page here with this event, right? So basically, you're all familiar with this event page, right? So you have the event name, where is that happening? There's a picture, the event description, there's a conversation, there's some admin buttons, right? Okay, so the big news is here. Poof. Is that we are changing the style. So the design of the whole Helpful Village website was done more than 10 years ago when I started the company. So these red buttons, I know you're familiar with the titles, the red buttons, the display and stuff like that. We're all familiar with that. And it is functional, but it's obviously a little bit outdated, right? So we have started some large modernization in style. So this is the same page. Actually, this is pulling the same information. This is not a mock-up or something. This is the real page we have coded. Now we can display it with the old style, with the new style. So it will look like this, a lot more organized. It's a lot more integrated in design. Before, in my first design I did 10 years ago, sometimes I was taking a button and throwing it in. Now everything is more pro. So basically the same information and features are available here. The admin buttons that were thrown at the bottom before, now they are a little bit, just put together. The clone options, all the functionality of the event is shown here. This is the same event description. These are the same dates, when, where, and who can attend. All of this remains the same. It's just a prettier layout. Now, I am pretty excited about this because I think it makes the website more attractive, all our customers' websites. The only reason why we cannot put it out there for everybody is that we need to bring out the new style for all pages. So this is one of the events page, event details page is pretty much finished or advanced. We have other pages that we are working on. I think we have another one here. Okay, this is a second reveal. It is not there. Oh, no, wait a minute. I messed it up because I just didn't type it right. It is not there. Wait, oh, no. Okay. Believe in me, I can do this. Okay, so this is a new list of events. You see, so we have the old list of events, and this is the new list of events. Same thing. So everything now has the same design. We had some problem with the menu. Sometimes people were struggling because our menus was too wide, and we had the logo on the side. So now we have taken all that feedback in, so that the menus are more interactive. There's another great news, and all the events. This is the actual list of the real events. So this is not a mock-up. This is not a picture. This is the real Helpful Village website working on the event. If I take any of these events and then I open it, it's gonna open the old design or the new design. So everything is integrated with whatever pictures you upload. They're integrated beautifully here. You can purchase the tickets. All the same functionalities there. We have done this for the events detail page, for the events list. But now there is also service requests, the admin profile person. So there's more pages. So we wanted to let you know, because this is kind of a serious amount of work. But it's also something we cannot deploy half of it, right? So we just need to, we will keep you posted about it. And then we need to make sure that the whole design has been done for all 25 modules of Helpful Village before we can bring it out for everybody. There is another thing that is exciting. One, is prettier, is more polished and with better finish. Is easier to use for your members. And the other thing that I'm excited about is a lot more mobile-friendly version, right? Because 10 years ago, your members were not using mobile phones, so we adapted some of the pages. I know you can see the list of events. But now, you know, we are in an era where mobile has become a lot more used by members. So basically, we are a lot more careful designing these pages so that they're mobile friendly. So prettier design, easier to use, more mobile friendly. All of these things are super exciting, also, but just a little bit of patience, because there is a lot of work. There is we need to apply all this new style to 25 modules. So it's coming. But we need to wait a bit.
How will this impact the editable pages?
So everything's changing is an excellent question. Obviously, we changed the whole thing here. Some elements in the editable pages, right, were constant. Like this one, there will be a new menu that is visible in the editable pages. You can still edit your pages. We will take your content. I have not worked on that one, so it's hard for me to answer it entirely. So we will be a little bit more patient. We need to work on that one. But I have, basically what I mean is that when you create your pages, I have the content of your page with text and pictures, etc. So I will display it down here. The easiest one is that, because for events it's a little bit more specific. I have a title, all of this I'm pulling from the database. So I can put that in a blue design that is kind of fancy and stuff like that. For your editable pages, it's different for every village. So I cannot do a header like that. So what my first response would be, well, there's nothing like the top here, right? But then here at the bottom side, I will display whatever design you added for your page. But again, there we need to be cautious so that it looks good with this new design. But all of these elements here at the top, they obviously come like this, and then we need to make sure that
the menu bar and the header,
the menu bar, all these menu options here have been added here, right? So login, change password, agenda, all of this, right? All of this is stays, but then obviously the editable pages that you were editing, the content was here in this area, right? And some villages had a header that we can also integrate, but basically we just need to work with you. So to make sure that your new pages look good, right? So, so again, we will be talking with villages that have a more, well, basically what I'm saying is that next webinar, next month, these changes is an announcement because I wanted everyone to know that we're working on this and this is exciting. But as I was saying, it needs more work. So don't be too concerned, because we're not launching this to your server before we make sure and we review it with you and we make sure that your pages look good with the new design.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Looks great. Looks great. Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. It's look, the previous design, in particular for events, it's like 11 years old, but at the time we didn't have 25 modules, we had one. So it was about going quick, adding more features, etc. And now we're a lot more established, so we can be a lot more careful in, well, we know what features are there in this page. Just make sure that they are looking, integrated. We're just not throwing them out there, but just positioning them in the right position. Okay, cool, perfect. Anastasia, I don't know if there are any other remaining questions in the chat.
Yes, we have a couple of questions. So one of them, will be able to import photos from events from our photo library?
Photos for events.
Yes.
So now we're coming back here, right here to the photo galleries. So if I understand the question, you can create, you can go to all photo galleries, right? This is how you would do it. It's, you have a new photo gallery because maybe you had a new event, right? Because it is a new, like the golf party. And then you say, okay, this is going to be a public gallery or a public that is only visible to members. You choose. And then this is what you use to reorganize chronologically the galleries. So basically, it is typically the date. But if I choose today's date and then I save this, it's going to show when I look at all the photo galleries at the top, right? Because we show the most recent things at the top, right? And if you took the display date for all of these events were older ones. Now, this is a gallery, but it has no pictures. And now you click on edit. And then from edit, you can add a picture. And here you can add the pictures from your computer. So I don't have a good picture.
Probably the question was, Manuel, probably the question was about adding the photo to the event. If the person can choose the photo from the photo library for the event, creating a new event.
For the event.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a totally different question. I was thinking about the photo gallery, but it's a photo library then. So basically we go to the event and then go to event list. I don't think it's connected actually. So basically, let's see if we go events and then we choose an event. Let me choose the other one here. Actually, for some reason, this one has no picture. And if I go here and I do edit this event, here we have a upload picture. So it's not pulling from the, it's not pulling from the photo gallery, from the photo library, sorry. We should not have launched these two features the same day. So here we're not reusing. Now, something you can do here is that if you choose a picture for this event, I only have these bad pictures, so I apologize for putting my face into it. But when you have this picture, you can do two things. Okay, there's some security checks for robots, so that's good. Did. So I added a picture here. Now, when you have this event, you can do multiple things. First is that if you want to clone this event, quickly. When you're cloning the event, it comes with the picture, right? And you can also add pictures to the event category they're on, right? So if the picture has no event, it's going to display the picture of that event. So you can technically reuse pictures in events. The pictures come from the event category, but you cannot access the photo library yet.
That was my question. This is Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Because we do a lot of events, and then we come up with a photo for it, and then the event doesn't happen on a routine basis, but it comes up again in 2 months, and I got to go find another photo. Yeah. If I was able to save that, that would be very handy, and be able to upload it instead of uploading it from my computer, uploading it from the photo gallery.
I see that. No, I can totally see that. So it's not there yet, but we take note. So that would be an improvement idea. So thank you for suggesting that. Anastasia, you have it's already 12:01, so we don't want to go too much past the hour in particular because we have a Q&A webinar next week. So if we have questions that are unrelated to some deep, demo that we did today, we can wait until next week. But if you have one last question, we can take it now too. Do you have one last question there?
Yes, we have a question about multiple selection of service requests. Keith, would you like to ask this question, or I can read it?
It's better when Villager can ask it if he's available.
Okay, so I'm going to read it. When making multiple selections on service requests and emailing urgent requests, who exactly will those emails go to? And will the service requests be reflected on the list of open service requests?
Well, yeah. Okay, So let's go step by step. First, you create the service request normally. So that doesn't change anything. So it's an open service request, right? So that doesn't change anything. So first you create it. And then once it is created, like here, you decide how they come out. Recommendation goes out automatically. If you want to send it as an urgent, Then you click on multiple service requests, right? And then you select them. So the first thing is, yes, it's among the other ones because you created them in the same way you always create a service request. One it is created is about how to send it out manually, right? You click multiple select, then you choose those that are urgent, those that you want to send out, and then you scroll down and you click on selected to email messenger. So it's the same thing I did before, right? Depending on what are the type of the service requests, it's gonna do the most accurate group possible. Because the 2 service requests I chose, it doesn't need to be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be as many as you want. But if they're all in the same volunteer activity, right, like drivers, and I do selected to email, it's gonna pre-select volunteer services, it's gonna choose my group of drivers, right? And then just go down, and then just, my 3 service requests are here, I go down and I send it. Now, the question is, who is this going to? Well, it's going to send to this group of drivers. But I'm going to be a little bit more precise in my description, is that this group of drivers is the same group you have here, admin, people management groups. And then if you scroll down here, is volunteer services, right? And under volunteer services, I have my drivers. So it goes to everyone here. But it goes out to MailChimp because it's the same email for everybody. So it needs to be to people that have accepted to have a valid email and their MailChimp. So basically, those that have this checkbox. So everyone here that is synchronized with MailChimp in this group of drivers will get that group email.
Okay. So just the simple answer was it's going to everyone in that category. We are not going to be able to narrow it down. We just sometimes try to be a little bit more selective in terms of who gets them and not ask the same people over and over. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the other
Thank
question was whether the SR numbers will actually show in the SR list.
Yeah. No, they're not showing at this time. Service requests here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So at this time, no. Just need to be careful so that we don't, that there's already a lot of information on this list, and forget the colors, because the colors is demo just because they are outdated, this one, so it should be white like this.
It's just we rely on that number so heavily. Everyone's used to seeing it everywhere, not having to go into each one individually to get it. But okay.
I mean, we take your feedback. It's always a balance, right? It's not hard to add them here in the list too. It's just about, okay, how much over, how much detail we show in the list compared to the details of the service request. But you always have it here in the detail if you need it to open it up here. If for some reason you explain us that, in your operations, it's super useful to have them here also in this list in some way, wouldn't be hard to add it somewhere around here too. So we can add it as a setting. So just, maybe if you can submit an improvement request, if you go to ask.helpfulvillage.com and you describe how you use it, and you tell us how, in your normal course of operation, we would be happy to read that request and why that's important to you, and potentially you can add it as a setting so that villages that operate that way, they can add it, and those that don't use it, well, basically they don't add it, just to make sure that everyone can have it.
I know our group is so used to relying on it. I think I know what they'll say, but I'll circularize our group and see what they say.
Okay.
We'll do that. Thank you, Manuel.
Okay, perfect.
If you view the event, will it show you the number?
Yes.
If you what?
If you do view on the event.
If it choose view, it's here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You just have to view them one at a time.
It's cumbersome.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, but I'm with you. So what I'm thinking is that it would be, obviously it's always hard to do this real time, but I'm thinking this part here, right, is the purpose, is what you put here in this one-liner right here. So I can totally see where here in this space we could put the ID column and then the purpose, right? So you can have both things in the same space. So that should be possible. We will try something like that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of space in some of those fields that possibly, but yeah. Well, again, I'll circularize my group and see if it's something they really want to see, and if so, we'll submit the request.
Okay. Absolutely. And but these, sometimes there are improvement requests that are, complicated and hard. The simple ones get done quicker because it's just easier. So this one would be an easy one because we have the information. It's just choosing what to display on the list.
What we present, right? Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a great last question for today. We're going past the hour, but we will be meeting again next Wednesday. So if you have additional questions, please remember to send those questions to hvusers@helpfulvillage.com. I'll put that email address here. This hvusers@helpfulvillage.com. When we'll put all those questions together, and then next Wednesday we're meeting at the same time as today, and then we'll be answering your questions in that order. Okay, people. Thank you. Have a great day. See you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
Nice
Bye.
again. Thanks.